Hello. Once again, everybody, welcome down the old rabbit hole. I'm Icarus 480, back once again with a brand new Icarus story time for you guys. A lot of you guys have been asking where the fuck I've been, why haven't I been uploading, and all that jazz, but the only thing I can really say is 2020 has started out very rough for me. I'm constantly jumping over barrier after barrier, and, trying to get shit figured out. Never really had much time for, fucking around on social media or uploads or anything like that. However, I'm slowly but surely starting to get things figured out, so I wanted to throw up one of my favorite stories to tell. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys about the time I got a tattoo that I do not remember receiving at all. So before I begin, let me show you guys the tattoo in question. It is a really shitty anchor tattooed on my ankle. And once again, I have no memory of receiving this. So let's begin. In our psychedelic time machine we go. Smoke DMT. So this, I want to say, takes place, let's say 7-8 months after Tales of the Street. Before I get into the actual story, let me kind of fill you guys into what went on between Tales of the Street and this story I'm about to tell you. So I was working at some call center in Casa Grande called Opinionology, and me and my baby's mom were together, and we eventually, rustled and tussled to the point that we realized we have to, break up. Now that happened shortly after what I'm about to tell you, because while we were working at this call center, they fucked us. Like, they completely fucked every employee that worked there. So I had called them one day before my scheduled shift to see when I'm supposed to come in. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. Just come in tomorrow at 11 a.m. and then we'll let you know what time you're supposed to come in later that day. I'm like, okay. So that next day I call them around 10:30 and I get a beep, 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 beep on the phone. So I try to call them a couple more times and the line's dead. So I lived right across street from this place. It was probably like a 7-minute walk. So I walk over there, and there's nothing there. Legit, nothing there. It'd be the equivalent as if you worked at a Burger King, and you walked in for your scheduled shift, and the whole fucking restaurant was empty. I mean, there's people coming in for their scheduled shifts to nothing. There's nobody there. They just up and left without telling anybody. So when that happened, I was jobless, and, I had this shitty fucking extended stay hotel that I was living at. There's no income coming in, which added to, more problems and everything like that. So me and my baby's mother split up. A little while later, I end up dating this chick. And she is a artiste and a inspiring tattooist. So I was probably dating her for, I'd say, like 2 weeks into this, relationship. I basically become homeless because I lost that place, no income to pay the rent. So she's like, okay, you could just, stay with me. Which is always a great idea. If you barely start dating someone, move in with them, right? Not. But that's besides the point, a story for another time. This is about the tattoo. So she had bought a professional tattoo gun and, was fucking around with it, tattooing fruit and all that, beginner tattooing things. And, so some point down the road, she's like, oh, like I have, to go give a tattoo, we're going to go hang out at this apartment. And, there's going to be a tattoo party. I'm going to give a couple people tattoos and stuff. So, all of the homies get together. Ramel, you guys remember him from the intoxication conversation, a couple other friends and stuff. So we go down there and, she starts tattooing and stuff. We're smoking weed. We buy a like $10 gallon bottle of vodka from it was like Safeway brand vodka, like grocery store brand vodka, and a big old gallon of cranberry juice. So we're making cranberry and extremely shitty vodka mixed drinks, and we're drinking them all night. We proceed to get pretty fucking intoxicated. She finishes the tattoo, which is like, I believe like a rose or something she was doing on, some Mexican dude's arm. That gets done, she loads up another needle, we're all chilling, pretty wasted. So this is where things start to get kind of fucking blurry. I do remember this. We had drinking so much of the vodka and cranberry juice that we were probably like halfway through the vodka, halfway through the cranberry juice, and I was like, hey, why don't we just like get the cranberry juice and pour it into the vodka bottle, so then we just drink from the bottle and not have to mix drinks. And everyone's like, that's a great idea. But we proceed to get completely blackout. I'm talking like throwing up, fucked up, night is done, blackout, I'm gone. So I wake up in a haze, my phone is vibrating, next to me. I'm at my house. How I got to my house at that point in time, I had no idea, but I'm home. Phone's vibrating, stops vibrating, about 15 seconds later it starts vibrating again. I have a fucking pounding hangover, and I still feel a little drunk. I look at the phone and it's my father. So I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? He's like, hey dude, man, where you at? I'm at home. Okay, look, man, I need you to come pick me up. Is my car there? I have no idea, man. Let me go outside and look. His car is outside. I'm like, yeah, your car's here. He's like, okay, cool. Can you come pick me up? I need a ride. I'm like, yeah, can you give me like 10, 15 minutes? He's like, yeah, that's fine. So I try to gather myself, recollect my whole consciousness, and eventually get in the car and start driving. Again, I have a fucking pounding hangover. Probably one of the worst hangovers I've ever had in my entire life. I'm fucking driving out the window, about to fucking puke. I finally get to where my dad is. I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking hungover right now. He's like, yeah, me too, man, but my homie, his name is Redbird. He's obviously a native guy. Redbird is like, let me smoke your son out. And he's like, yeah, he wants to smoke weed with you. I was like, okay, cool. That sounds awesome. So we smoked some bud and shit. The guy's pretty cool. He's probably like a 40-year-old native dude. We're talking, I start smoking, and it kind of cures my hangover. Like, I feel a lot better. So my dad's like, man, I had a crazy night last night. Let's just go to, like, you know, Denny's or IHOP or something, and we're going to get some really greasy food and, you know, try to get over this hangover. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. So we start driving. We get to the restaurant. We sit down. He starts telling me about his night. I start telling him about mine. I'm like, man, I just remember, you know, my girlfriend tattooing somebody, and we were drinking vodka and cranberry juice. She's like, yeah, you know, I almost banged this chick, but, you know, I thought we were going to double team her. It didn't happen. Just, you know, welcome to the life of the 480s, man. And we're talking, you know, the waitress is coming up, giving us coffee and, you know, whatever. I got the slam burger from Denny's. Fucking shout out to that goddamn meal. I love that shit. Every time I go to Denny's, always a slam burger. And that is with sunny side up eggs and a medium rare, baby. But sorry, vegans. So anyways, we're just talking, and I start scratching my leg. Like, feels like, you know, like a mosquito bite or something. So I'm just kind of scratching it. And, you know, we're talking. I keep scratching my leg, and eventually I'm like, why the fuck is my leg so itchy? So I lift my pant leg to expose this shitty fucking anchor tattoo. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is that real? Dude, I got a fucking tattoo. And he's like, oh, let me see. He's like, I was like, it's an anchor. So why I have an anchor, or what possessed me to want to get an anchor, I have no idea at this point. I'm not a fucking sailor. I'm not in the Navy. I've never been on a boat other than ones we created in the fucking res. But I have an anchor. I'm like, this is fucking insane. We finish our meal. I go home and I call my homie Ramel. I'm like, dude, I have a tattoo. He's like, oh yeah, I know. You wanted an anchor. I was like, why the fuck who tattooed me? He's like, I don't know, some dude. He's like, I want to give a tattoo. I've never given one. And you just kind of volunteered yourself to receive a tattoo. And I'm like, well, why the fuck do I have an anchor? He was like, well, you kept saying you wanted an anchor because you've been holding it down since 1992. And that is the fucking most embarrassing shit. Oh my god, that is definitely an intoxication conversation you would have, man. I have this shitty anchor because I've been holding it down since 1990 motherfucking 2. I've thought about covering it, but dude, it's a fucking memory. It makes me laugh every time I see it, so I've decided to keep it. And yeah, man, there it is, dude. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this short Icarus Storytime video. I got some more shit I have planned up. We'll see how that fucking rolls into place. Thank you guys always and forever for your love and support. I'm Icarus 480 up here in the rabbit hole, holding it down since 92, baby. Peace, love, and smoke DMT.